Right.
Well, we're going to be good. Believe
First thing I want to do is I seek refuge with Allah against the enemy of God and man
You
with the
don't
name
do
of
it,
Allah,
Lord
the most
Jesus.
gracious, the
I
most
can't
merciful.
help you. You know what you need to be doing.
Man, thank you for this morning. I really appreciate that.
You about ready? Did you start me on?
Yeah.
I'm already on?
Yeah. I just
Okay, well, always let me know. So we are live on my Facebook, and we're going to go live here. So we're talking. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I bear witness there's no God but Allah and Muhammad, his messenger. You know what we're going to do now? We're going to tape for our show, for the radio show Saturday. So we'll be coming on live in just 1 minute. This is some of my guests today, and then they'll be sticking around when the other guests come because they're going to help me close out also. So we're going to have a good time tonight. Got a lot of information to cover, brothers and sisters. A lot of information to cover. So Allahu Akbar. It's going to be very easy because I got pros here. Yeah.
ready when you ready. All right, so fellas, this first segment is gonna be 12 minutes. We're gonna start on 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning. Welcome to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. I'm your host today. Mayor Bosley's on special assignment, brothers. Special assignment. And guess who else is on special assignment? Senator Carla May. She's on special assignment. And guess who else is on special assignment? Sister Secretary for Alisha. So I'm blessed today to have the show, but it's a good show. It's going to be a very exciting show because of the guests that I'm having on this morning. We got the school board members coming on this morning, and they're coming into the studio this morning. All praise due to Allah. We thank Allah for that. We got something that we're going to be talking about on. They're constantly messing with Sister Kim Gardner. This is just, they going out their way. And of all the things they're calling it the veil of prophet. And if you know the history of the veil of prophet, then you'll understand what we're talking about. We want to also get back on this piece with Paul McKee and his boot-licking, butt-licking boy, Daryl Piggy. And who walk around with Piggy? Piggy should have stayed home. When I was young, they would say this little piggy went to the market, and this little piggy stayed home, and this little piggy stayed. Wee. Always. He should have stayed home because he shouldn't have been putting his nose. Homer G. Phillips is very sentimental to black people in the black community. Extremely sentimental. And anytime they get their diamond ring wearing, chicken finger licking, we should come singing rented Negroes to come and say it's okay. It ain't okay. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to also be talking about the music and what the music world is doing. Brother Zaki Baruti got a beautiful article in one of the papers here that ties into my guest on crime. So, but without any hesitation or reservation, I don't want them to sit here just looking good because for the brothers and sisters, that's what I didn't say. Tag a friend and bring him in. I blew that all the way. Tag a friend. That's what Sister Secretary Felicia says all the time. And she's on special assignment. Tag a friend and bring him in. So if you would do us a favor, if you would go live now on your Facebook with us, for those who are watching, if you tag a friend and bring him in, if you would push what we're doing right now, if you they said like it, share it, tag it, and follow it. Like it, share it, tag it, and follow it. But without any hesitation or reservation, I want to go to two of my brothers, and I'm going to let them introduce. Well, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I can introduce them. I got brother Hassan Shariff, who's a brother that's very dear to me. He's also a part of the Tahiti Youth Group, and a legend in the city of St. Louis, a legend throughout the state of Missouri, the legend in the world, Brother Lorenzo Petty. So I want to welcome you this morning and say all praise due to Allah. Thank Allah that y'all are here this morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Speak right into those mics for me, please.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we just going to freestyle. Y'all are doing so much in the community, and I know you are, and y'all been working with young people for so long. And your brother Sam Petty is a legend on himself and the things that he did. I always say, Brother Lorenzo, and I'm going to say that to our other guests when they come here, we got more time behind us than we have in front of us. So we have to make every day work for us. We got to make things happen. People make things happen. And your brother was a person who made things happen. Everything from the piece that he used to do with that wall of respect. I never forgot that.
Right.
So if you and Brother Hassan would just jump on in there and help me because crime is up in this city. Crime is up. And one day they tell me they wind up shooting up one house 3 times in one day. 3 times. A witness for me is Allah is my witness. So when I start hearing things like that, that's extremely serious. So that's when they need the specialists to come in. So Brother Hassan, Shariff, you want to kind of come in first?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. First and foremost, I want to thank Mayor Bosley and the Bosley Morning Show and Brother Shaheed and Brother Petty. I want to always start off with a small prayer for myself to help set the tone.
Said it.
I seek refuge with Allah against the enemy of God and man with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Once again, thank you, brothers. It's an honor to be here with you, Brother Shaheed. I'm just so grateful to be able to come into a setting like this and talk about some of those heavy topics that you put out there on the table, and to be along two legends here in the middle.
Tell me the kind of things you're seeing out there in them streets. Y'all in the streets. You're
yes,
not
sir.
playing like you're in the streets.
Yes, sir. I'm out there in them streets, and I'm seeing these ARs, I'm seeing these guns, and I'm seeing so much violence.
Tell the people, because there might be some people who know. What's an AR?
It's an automatic weapon, assault weapon.
I know. I want to make sure the people know.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
They shoot 100 rounds. These brothers are carrying automatic weapons that the military has. And some of the things that I'm seeing in the community is mostly mental health. A lot of these young people are starting to use fentanyl and heroin young, 15, 16 years of age. Our people are suffering. And so what we would like to do, what we are doing in the community, is reaching our brothers and sisters and providing resources for its treatment and things of that nature. So me and Brother Petty, we hooked up about 3 years ago, and we've been out there in them streets doing cleanups, just out there reaching out to the community. Been getting them sandwiches and feeding the homeless. And
I'm really impressed on that. Keep going, but I really, of all the things that you do, it's a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
But Brother Petty, you know what that means. When a person is hungry, you can put something into their stomach, then you'll get their attention. Then sometimes you can put something into their mind, but that's not the intention. Your intention is to try to feed a hungry stomach. But at the same time, God has blessed us to be able to be in a position to reach our hands out and then put something here too, because that's going to help too.
Yes, sir.
So y'all just tag team it. I want y'all to feel welcome here this morning. I want you to say whatever's on your mind. This is, and we talk free around here.
Yes, sir.
I'm free.
Gotcha.
So I just want to kind of enlighten that with how we connected, me and Brother Petty.
Yes, sir.
But first and foremost, I'll never forget 1999 when Brother Shaheed, when you and Sultan came up the street doing street patrol. And that's where Brother Petty can speak to that, about the violence and the crime of going in these streets, going up the gut of these neighborhoods and reaching out to these brothers while they sitting there with them automatic weapons and high on them drugs. But Brother Shaheed, I'm a recovering person. Brother Shaheed came up the street. I'll never forget it. It was like yesterday. I'll never forget it. I was sitting on the porch. It was about 3 of my other partners. 2 of them are deceased. One of them is still here and he's still using. But Brother Shaheed, it was something he said, him and Sultan, and it hit me. You know, brother, y'all got a nice house. It's a nice neighborhood. Y'all shouldn't be out here doing this, disrespecting your mom's house, sitting out here doing all this stuff. Why don't you brothers think about getting yourselves together? And when you do, come on back down to the Thai Youth Group in the Cochran Center. And that was like almost 35 years ago. And I've been clean 20 years. And it's just an honor and a privilege to be here with these gentlemen. But this brother here, I want to pass it to this brother here.
To the legend.
Because he's the legend. You know,
ain't no secret.
This brother here, me and him connected right away when he told me, get out of the way, get out of your own way. And so with no further ado, I like to turn over to Brother Lorenzo Petty.
I want to pass it on to, but I want to tell people, you want to share it now. Anybody who's on right now, seriously, you get to hear from a legend in this segment, and then we're going to come back in the next segment.
Yes,
I want you to share it, like it, call somebody, tell them right now, make sure this is a legend, Lorenzo Petty. This name rings a bell in the community. Come on, my brother. Come on, my brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
Salam, sir.
God is good all the time.
Yes, sir.
I want to take my time out right now and give my honor to Almighty God for allowing me to be the last one standing in my family. I am the only I'm the only man left in my generation from the Petty family. Everybody, God had took everybody but me. Now they thought I was going to be first. I want y'all to know, as my Christian brothers and sisters, they say, before you speak, Mr. Petty, be sure to tell them people how old you are. I am 72 years old.
Praise be to Allah.
I was born and raised in the city of St. Louis. Never been shot, never been stabbed, never been hurt by no black man in this city. Tried, but God said it wasn't going to happen.
Praise be to Allah.
I was a man for justice. Papa, don't take no mess. If you don't mess with my babies, my woman, my kids, you all right with me, dirty. When we came up on that north side, if you was a burglary or rapist, we didn't call the police.
Yes, sir. Praise be to
We
Allah.
saw that problem myself.
Oh, praise be to Allah. Yes, sir.
And most of all, I am so grateful and honored to be one of the first black young men that came to the city of St. Louis in 1973
Wow.
and started a grocery store. And I started hiring everybody. Everybody thought saying, everybody worked for me. Everybody working for me. I hired everybody. I taught them how to cut meat. I taught them how to fix on houses, do drywalling.
Yes, sir.
I taught them all how to do math, how to do decimal fraction, and how to do decimal multiplication. In order to be in business, you deal with percentage. You got to deal with decimal.
Wow.
I taught them how to price groceries. I taught them how to rehab houses. I'm the one was saying, put the pistol down and pick up the pencil.
And that was back in
That's
1973.
1973.
1973. That's beautiful. Come on. I just wanted to make sure people are clear on how far
You know,
back
that was
you're
in
going.
1973.
Oh, praise be to Allah. That's
My
powerful.
brother Sam Petty, he was one of the first man that started a black freedom fighting organization called the Black Liberators, you know, and I was one of the first black men that came to the north side and started rehabbing houses and started opening up stores and gave black people in the north side their first job. I'm the one who took the kids off the street and say, put that gun down because it's going to put you in hell or jail.
I want to hold you right to that. I want you to remember where you at because I only got 30 seconds now and we're going to go to a break. You're going to come back and finish where you at. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to stay right where you at. But brothers and sisters, it's time for you to go and make you some calls, let people know we're on. We're going to go to a commercial break. What we want to do is go to the break right now. We say, keep it on lock. What you say? Stop playing. Ho! I got to say it with y'all.
Keep it on lock.
So
Stop
you know,
playing.
so brothers and sisters, we're live. We're still live.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That's
on
right.
4 or 5 different pieces here.
Okay.
So we're going to keep on talking about what you're going to talk about. But when you come back on, you also going to fix it what people can see, because it like you got it work.
Oh,
It's
okay.
okay. Brother Sam, I want you to continue where you was at. It's okay.
Okay.
We're live.
No
And you
problem.
can, and then when we come back, you'll continue again. But I want the people to understand what you're talking about. You just got on your brother. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Yeah. Well, see,
This is a powerful history, brothers and sisters. This
they
is
got
a
an
legend.
old saying, and it goes, how do you know where you headed at when you don't know where you came from? So my brother Sam Petty, to me, he was one of the first black men that even taught me about reading and writing. He's the first black man that tell me to try to know about history.
Yes, sir.
But I wouldn't listen.
Hard-headed.
Hard-headed. See, then black people the same way. So how do you know where you're headed at if you don't know where you came from? Don't know nothing about the South.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing about how the South was. They don't know how they was hanging us up if they caught us even looking at a white woman.
Or
Right.
walking in a
Or walking in.
clothesline.
You better not call there no, hey, baby.
If you walked on a clothesline while the clothes were hanging and a white woman dress was there and you walked under the clothesline,
That's
you had
right.
a problem. And
So-
that's the, you know, I'm happy that this brother's here because he's making my mind pop and we're going to be jumping in on
know,
each other. Brother,
So let's go back to the city of St. Louis. City of St. Louis, on the north side, across Jefferson and the Fairground Park, we couldn't go over there. That was all white folks over there.
Say it again. Is that by Beaumont High School?
That's what about Natural Bridge and Grand,
Yeah.
Fairground Park.
Right across from
Central
Beaumont High School.
High School, Beaumont High
Yes.
School.
Yes.
You know, Northside Theater.
Wow.
We couldn't go over there.
And then wasn't there a time when you went to the swimming pool up there, brother by the name of Herman Mumford,
Right.
tried to swim in the pool
And they threw
at
that
Fairgrounds and got beat to death by a mob of
That's
white
right.
guys. Now, I was born in Homer G. Phillips, and I was just sharing with Brother Shaheed how we just was downtown, and I missed Percy Green
Okay, you're talking about last week, last Wednesday.
last Wednesday.
Yes.
So this is something that the community doesn't have, that we missing. We don't get the input of what we want to see in our neighborhoods.
Correct.
And so things get done up under the tables, or they get done real quickly without the community aware of what's going on. And so
Let's don't talk in real. They getting paid off. Just don't come
Yeah.
on, if you're gonna come on this show, you got to talk straight.
okay.
I'm not gonna allow no not talking. They getting paid off.
Yeah.
I'm loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel like it is.
I'm free.
That's
I said,
right.
and if I know the names, I'm gonna say the names.
And so the
That's
state rep, she made it perfectly clear. She was the only sister there, Sister Kimberly Ann Collins, and she said it should be more of us in here,
Yeah.
but I'm here
Yeah. Well,
to support you guys. This was,
That was
you know,
Wednesday night, and I mean Wednesday
Yeah.
during the daytime. And that's beautiful for the simple. Our young people have to have this and pass it on. You know, Brother Petty, we came during the time of civil rights,
Yes, sir.
and we was around consciousness. I didn't care if you was dealing as a Christian with Dr. King, if you was dealing with Malcolm, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad using Malcolm, and whoever else he had, Muhammad Ali. It was consciousness. What they've did is strip consciousness from our young people now, and they're not conscious of the condition we in as a people. You know, and anytime people don't know they've been spit up on, or they don't know their history, they do them to repeat it.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, that's why your brother was so deep, because when you drove down from Dr. King, right where that police station is now on Jefferson, and you get right to that fork, you would see the wall of respect. I never forget that.
Jefferson and Franklin.
Jefferson and Franklin.
Right there where it spit up at.
Correct. I never forget that. And all those things are very important in our community when
Absolutely.
we're sitting pushing black images. I was young enough to see Muhammad Ali whooping Superman. Superman wasn't a homosexual. See, all that stuff they slap. I'm going to say what I want to say. Yeah, I'm just telling you what, that's what Muhammad Ali was whooping. When Superman was supposed to be big bad boy, we had images with black men being black men.
yes, sir.
That made a big difference.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's what drew me around the Panthers or the Nationals or the Black Patriots and the Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam. I love that militancy. I did. And I can't help that. We was conscious of knowing that we had, I even had a fro. No joke though. Quiet on the set.
Quiet on
Quiet
the
on the
set.
set now. Y'all look too funny.
Coolie high.
Yeah, coolie high. But we was, it was serious during that day and time. You know, black children had black dolls. We had black stores because white folks wouldn't let us go to these stores. Like he said, white folks didn't want you in the swimming pools. You let us know when we coming back, because we're ready to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
We'll be
just-
coming back, brothers and sisters. Please be patient, because this is some powerful history.
Why I leave
And
out
it
there?
ties into the crime, because even during that time,
Sam.
a lot of that music was coming from conscious brothers and sisters. You had groups like the Last Poets. Those brothers and sisters were so conscious that if you really wanted to catch a sister and you was about something, tell her you got some tickets to see the Last Poets and you got an afro with some afro chains, and see how that thing was going to go. See? But they were conscious. Most of that music came from Mali, West Africa. Most people didn't know Dr. King went to Africa. Most of our people right now never knew Dr. King was in Africa with Kwame Ture and them. And Dr. Martin Luther King traveled to Africa. This is the history they don't have, and this is why we got to teach our young people, you know, this
That's
history,
right.
and that's why you hear my brother.
That's right, Brother Shaheed.
You know,
And that's another reason what I would be remiss if I didn't mention Brother Juma. We doing these boys to men in these schools, and like Juma say, our people got more issues than Sports Illustrated. And so with this mental health piece, we try to catch these babies, like Mr. Petty was saying, catch them young. You say the babies, we can help heal the world.
say
And
that
we know-
again. Y'all go too fast. That's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah.
You got that
if
from
you save the baby, you save the world.
one more time.
If you save the babies, you save the world.
And listen, the reason I want them on here, I try to bring, I bring brothers and sisters here that's got a history These brothers here is not no angels. They might be straight now, but they wasn't at first. So we're going to go to our next segment. Thanks for being patient with us, brothers and sisters. Thank you very, very much. You can go to Brother Hassan's page. Brother Hassan, what's your page that they can come to?
Hassan Shariff.
You can go to Hassan Shariff. You can go to Brother Anthony Shahid's page. You can go to Mary Bosley's page. You can go to our YouTube page. You can go to our Instagram. We live every which way you turn. We live. So we're going to come back on the set. Count me down.
All right. Quiet on set. Segment 2 going to be 22 minutes. Start at 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're on the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show, and I'm your host, Brother Anthony Shahid. And before we went on break, we were just talking to Brother Legendary, Brother Lorenzo Petty. And I have to say it like that because it's the truth. Legendary. His name rings in the street. Call some brothers and sisters and say Lorenzo Petty is on the radio, or tell him he's live and see how hot it is. See, do it ring a bell. And it won't be no, well, leave it alone. Used to be a song, you can ring my bell. It won't be that kind of bell. But he was just talking about the history of, what was happening. His name rings a bell in the jail, all throughout the jails, all throughout the street. All the gangsters, old gangsters, they respect this brother, I promise you. And they honor him. I won't even say, well, we only fear Allah, but I don't think they understand that. I think they feared you too. I'm going to flip it back to you, my brother. Brother Lorenzo Petty, come on back. Thank you for this morning for being here in the studio live.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's an honor, man. You know, I'm glad God got me here to share with the audience of what I know now that I didn't know back then. And I say that to say, my brother Sam, he was trying to teach me a lot of things at that time, and I was kind of hard-headed. And I we say hard-headed, but I realize now I was an alpha male, you know. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, I'm like, Papa, I don't take no shit off the police. An old motherfucker,
it's all right. I don't have no problem, but Sunday,
I don't take that, morning. If you respect me, I respect you.
Yes, sir.
If I ain't out there doing no wrong and you grab me, you better grab me right because I'm going to talk to you right. Same way you treat me. I don't care who you are,
Yes,
but
sir.
I hated that I didn't follow my brother Sam's advice about that education thing, because he always snitch on us when we be playing hooky, But he always went to school. And I really didn't value it at the time because my hustling skills in the streets was big time, And then I never knew that in my wildest dreams that I was going to be one of the biggest organized groups in the city against the FBI when it come to crime, And so Fat Woods and all
again,
of us,
I want you to say, then you can tie into Fat Woods and all the rest. But say it again. You say you were the biggest what?
I was one of the biggest crime organizer in the city when it come to getting money, when it come to interstate shipment, when it come to selling heroin, cocaine, I mean, I was a controller. I run the North Side. I was one of the controllers in the Pearl Niagara Project. I wanted shot callers. We taught people how to get money. But see, I was one of the first black dudes out of that crowd. In 1973, I broke out and I took my money and I started opening up business and housing. Wow. The Woods didn't know what to do with theirs, but sat on it and buy fancy cars. I went on and started buying houses and opening up groceries.
Another well-known brother.
Well-known partner.
Yeah, there ain't no secret.
You understand? So they was holding theirs. I wouldn't help mine to open up grocery stores and open up for rehab and houses. And so at the time I'm doing this, I'm teaching my community. I'm teaching little black kids in there that ain't got nothing to do. I saw something in them that they didn't see in themselves. So it was certain ones that we in the neighborhood that my family and I, we were recruiting them as our family. It was even some of the guys that I even made to go to the Army so they wouldn't get in no trouble.
Talk about that time when you got the bi-state buses when the kids, I think, when we were little.
He's saying.
I remember that.
Back in we opened up my store in 1973. Uh-huh. But from 1973 on down to 1978,
right,
every year I used to rent 3 bi-state buses for the North Side just for the children.
to go to Six
And I
Flags.
bust every children from the north side from 73 down to 78 out to Six Flags, which they had never been out there in their life. And I was the first time they went because I paid for them to go. But right today, I'm 72 years old and I ain't never been out there.
That's huge.
You know?
So let's fast forward this because you're giving powerful history, and I don't want you to stop giving it, but at the same time, how do we take this here and make it work today? Because in one day, you got 3 shootings at the same house from 2 different gangs at the one young brother. I never saw it like this. I've seen it now. And it takes real brothers to handle that.
Yes, sir.
I want to tie this into, because your history is powerful. Ain't no secret.
Mm-hmm.
What is missing now that we were doing then? Because brothers was hard-headed then, but y'all were able to get their attention. They wasn't murdering each other and disrespecting mothers. They weren't disrespecting fathers. They weren't disrespecting grandmothers. They weren't disrespecting, people wouldn't disrespect you in front of your wife or your daughter. You just got to saying, as long as you don't do it to my wife. Tell me the difference now. What needs to be being done, brother?
You know, I'm like Columbo. I'm glad you asked that question.
Okay.
You know, them youngsters on the north side, here about 10 years or 9 years ago, I was in Fairground Park with some of them little killers over there, you know, and I raised their daddy and their parents, and they said, well, them my children's right there. And so they introduced me to their children's over there in Fairground Park, and the little cats asked me, say, that's him, Lorenzo Petty? CNC Mark? I said, yeah. Mr. Petty, we know back then, you know, what you did to, you know, help get it under control, you know, like, what would you do today, you know, to try to get this under control? And I replied to them, the same thing I did before. They said, what was that? I said, I always remember this, sir. You ain't got to like me, but you got to respect me.
Yes, sir.
Because that same 45 you got on your hip, the man just sold me a whole case of them, bro. So you ready for a shootout, and I'm ready for a war.
So fast forwarding it, what we do now, me and you, we talk about how we get in the neighborhood.
I'm gonna get into that. Here I come right now. The icing on the cake that helped me, got me in order. When I went to that penitentiary.
How long? Okay, you went to, for how long?
I went to the penitentiary in 1978, and I stayed up there for they let me out for 26 years.
Damn.
You know, and the only thing I remember, my mother's always tried to get us to know that Bible.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why. But when I got in the penitentiary, I got into a lot of Bible class. And I think one of the amazing things that I learned was that the Bible abbreviation means stand for basic information before leaving Earth.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
You know, so what else I'm saying?
Say that one more time because you break
The Bible abbreviation means basic information before leaving Earth.
Beautiful.
And so I said, wow, that's deep there. So really, it's a history book. It's just like Before the Mayflower by Leon Bennett, you know. That's one of the best black history books I ever read. Well, the Bible to me was a history book. It talks about AC and BC. It talks about what went down then, and the same thing went down then. It's still going on now, you know. But you got to know you can't read it without a dictionary. You know, get your Western dictionary. And them same words that you can't pronounce, they got them in that dictionary. It got two ways of pronouncing it. You know, so, I mean, I had to go to penitentiary for 26 years to educate myself.
So that's
I was very successful in the North Side at 23 years old in the business world in 1978 with a 4th grade education. Wow. When I went to the penitentiary, it took me 9 years to take my GED 5 times before I passed it. I was 38 years old before I passed it.
Is that right?
I was 42 years old before I entered college.
That's deep.
And then not only that, but as my man Johnson Bay say, Brother Petty, they dropped us off in a pile of wolf, but we ended up leading the pack.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. That's beautiful.
God don't make no mistake.
Yes,
Brother
sir.
Hassan, jump in here because I'm studying.
I'm just listening
for-
to the history.
I put the icing on the cake.
Put the icing on the cake so
My
I can get it.
religion, my study in that religion and Bible,
Yeah.
and my accomplishment with my education. I want to talk, boy. Cause look here, boy, it takes discipline, man, to get that education, brother. I was so proud when I got my GED, man.
Yes, sir.
Woohoo! That was hard, but I made it.
You was 38 years old.
I was about 38 years old when I got my GED.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That just show
Yes,
you
sir.
what you said.
Can I get a little bit
come
of
on,
joy from this brother?
We got probably about
I hate
another.
to
We got about
interrupt.
another 12 minutes in this segment,
Yes,
but
sir.
it's okay. And then y'all gonna help me close the segment. That's some other.
Yes,
And
sir.
one more thing,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Petty, I done sold a lot of drugs, but I ain't never used them.
Oh, watch out, though.
No
Wow,
heroin, no
all right.
cocaine, no angel dust, no none of that mess. I would stay focused. I came to be the black man that went into business. Young brothers,
Right.
get your money.
Yeah.
Buy some real estate.
There you go.
Open you up a car wash. Open you up a shoe shine parlor. You understand? Some kind of be self-sufficient. Open up, you go to carpentry school and learn how to do drywall. Learn how to put floors down, tiles down on the floor. It's real simple.
Yeah.
You know, you start your tiles from the middle of the floor, you work out to the ends. You know, it's simple. It's your own company.
Yes, sir.
Come
you
on,
know,
Hassan.
you got to be self-sufficient.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You ain't gonna get a chance if I don't let you.
Yeah,
Take it now.
I got to take it. I
Come
got
on,
to take it.
Come on.
Look, I'm feeling what the brother's saying,
I am too.
and I'm loving it. The seed has been planted. This brother talks to me every day. I talk to brother Shahid and brother Petty every day. Brother Shahid always talk about prayer is better than sleep. It's power in prayer. And so what brother Petty is doing, he's giving us some history. I don't like to interrupt people when they teaching because he's teaching. But what he's doing is he's planting the seed, and he's a genius at it, because when we out there in that community with them young folks and they see us and he sits them down and he talks to them, then we start raking, we start cutting the grass, we start cleaning up.
That's it.
We got groups like the Story Stitchers. These kids are phenomenal. These are kids that come in the
Yes,
community,
sir.
they perform, they break dance. Then we got different groups. Dr. Punch got the boxing thing going on. We're gonna be doing some things this
This
weekend.
Saturday.
We really
You mean today?
today,
Right.
yeah, actually today at 2:00.
At 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock
Right,
today.
Right.
And so these things that I would like to continue to keep doing, and the young people are saying, well, with my money, Mr. Hassan, I want to be able to buy some of these houses over. Can we get jobs and cut this grass? And can we do some of this stuff? Yes, you can. You know, and these are some of the things. And then also with their parents being behind the 8 ball, like he was talking about with all of the drugs, it's a solution to some of the things that we talking about too. And so we get support groups to come out and help the women. You know, I'm from the Wells Goodfellow area, and I know how that area is plagued from Martin Luther King and Academy all the way down to Hodemont to the city limits, from Hodemont all the way back down to Page, with all of the prostituting and everything that's going on in the neighborhood. So I'm just real grateful to be able to be with the legends, Brother Shahid, to be able to pour into these young folks. And we talk about from boys to men, from malehood to manhood. These are things that are missing. Brother Chester Deans, we talk about this a lot when we talk about the fathers. The fathers are the key component in the home. You know, we were intended to be the head, not the tail. So this is what these brothers are doing when we talk about the Tahir Youth Group, with the community centers, what Khalil is doing, what all of the brothers are doing in the
Khalil,
Tahir
y'all
Group.
go fast. I want y'all to make sure y'all say those names so they
Yeah.
can get a chance. But the Khalil Munir works with just about every community center in the city of St. Louis, and he's a strong young brother.
Yes, sir.
And they're really about the community, because those community centers saved a lot of us.
Yes, sir.
They
Yes,
really
they
did.
do.
Brother Petty, I want to say something to you and Brother Hassan. We still got at least another 5, 6, 7 minutes. But what I want to say, and then I want y'all to stay around and help me close out the last segment after
Yes,
my
sir.
guest,
Yes, sir.
the other guest leave. I was talking to a brother named Willie Stephanie, who you love. Who you love, Brother Willie Stephanie. I was with Brother Willie Stephanie. He said something, and we were talking, and he was saying, Shay, you know what I loved about you? And we love about each other. He said, you don't just talk about young people. You done put time in on them. I don't mind nobody tell me about some young people. If I catch you, that's okay. When prayer come in. What I don't want to hear our people do, all praise due to Allah. We don't jump on that there. What I love that Brother Willie said, how can we talk about our young people and you didn't do anything to try to help them. Hit resume.
Mm-hmm.
See, let me tell you how deep that is. Brother Willie Stephanie has an auto body shop right on Natural Bridge just before you get to Union, between Kings Highway and Union. And you go in there, you're going to see at least 3 or 4 young people that are learning a trade. So if he wants to tell me anything about young people, guess what? I can listen. Your history, Brother Lorenzo Petty. You've showed me that you've been in the street working with young people. So if you tell me something about some young person, I can listen. Brother Hassan, Allah bless you for over 20. How many years have you been straight?
20.
For 20 years, you've been straight, and everything that your mother and your grandmother told you to do, you do it with a passion now. And you've worked with young people, cleaning up, doing the grass and all that kind of hauling and everything with young people. If you tell me something, I can listen. Brother Juma Muhammad, I can listen. But I don't let nobody tell me nothing about young people and you to do nothing to try to help them.
Amen. That's
And
right,
you go
brother.
to try to tell me what they doing
right.
wrong. You know, these young people, they just so far gone. And that's all you're going to do is talk, but you're not going to do nothing to
See,
help them.
they
You
don't wanna
cannot
hear it
be
either.
what you cannot see.
That's right.
If you don't see a strong man and see somebody that's trying to
right,
extend
brother.
their hands to you, you hear about a person have a situation and you don't try to help them at all. Me and Brother Bosley was talking about something earlier. I said, brother, if one day me and you going to have $1 million, and he said, yeah, if we do, we're going to help each other. But you tell me, you know, Brother Shaheed got a problem and you don't try to do nothing. You just hear about a problem I got and don't try to help me at all. Don't talk about how I ain't about nothing and you don't try to help me. And that's what that civil rights era went through. We were about, they had a lot of big brother programs.
Yes, sir.
Where we reached out to young people. And that's what I respect about what you're doing in the school.
Yes, sir.
That's what I respect about the book that you wrote. This really should be the best seller in the whole world. They keep on talking about how to bring
That's
down
right.
crime.
You need to get that book.
Talk to you and then understand how to. See, you can't say you went to jail for 26 years and don't understand what's happening. If you don't know how to stop crime and you was one of the ones who started crime,
That's right.
then I don't know who can stop it.
That's right.
But they don't come to the specialists. They go to these people that they know. I'm going to tell you what I say about them. They need to be somewhere teaching about the bubble gum or something. You know, you used to have bubble gum rappers. They should be teaching about Girl Scout cookies or some kind of bingo games.
Yeah.
Got their dad's talking about they some gang specialists and they out in the street curving crime. It's a crime that you lying.
Let it be known that Mr. Lorenzo Petty been home now for 15 years.
Wow, that's a
With
lot.
no trouble, no arrested, no pickup and nothing, you know. And man, it takes a hell of a man to discipline yourself. You got to educate yourself.
Yes.
You know, about positive place and rational place and irrational place that you want to stay away from.
Yes.
You got to stay away from them kind of people. If you can't recognize that character, and you're going to go down there and hang out with drug addicts and talk about you ain't doing no drugs, you might as well be birds of the feathers flock together.
Right. And we got to be careful with the energy and the information that we receive because brothers and sisters, we out here getting misinformed information from misinformed people and people trying, like Brother Shaheed say, trying to teach and tell people if my experience can't help a person get off drugs and alcohol, I don't know what can.
Absolutely.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
And if people just be honest, if you haven't did, it's a lot of things I haven't did. And a lot of times when people say, I'll say, bro, that's not my area. Bro, Shaheed don't need to be trying to get in that because I don't know what I'm doing. And it's okay not to know everything.
That's right.
But don't be somewhere talking about I specialize in saving some kids' life. And you already know, man, you play jacks.
Yeah.
You're a bowler bat. It's okay. But teach bowler bat classes,
But
and that's why it's so important that the next group that's coming here, the St. Louis Board of Education, board members are coming here because I always want somebody's talking about the youth.
Yeah.
Keep me up on, because that you just said, say it again, how they get. When you teach youth, you teach the future.
If you save the babies, save the world. My grandmother and my mother say that, and let me say this: my grandmother, Willa Mae, God rest her soul.
Oh, praise due to Allah.
My grandmother didn't give up on me. My mother and my grandmother prayed for me.
Praise due to Allah.
When I was shot, drug addicted, and homeless, I come out of it, and I listened to Brother Petty. But unfortunately, I chose the streets. The streets didn't choose me. I chose the streets.
Wow.
So I had to hit a bottom. And once I hit that bottom,
rock bottom.
Yeah,
can't go no further than that.
Can't go no further.
That's why they call it rocks. That's what a rock says.
Rock bottom. I bounced back. So with that being said, I'm just so grateful that we are here. We're willing to help. We want to come together and help.
Well, let's do this here because we got about 2 minutes left. Give y'all information. If people want to get with you and get the name of that book out, but you give your information first because he's long-winded. Get your information.
Well, my information is easy. You can reach me on Facebook, Hassan Shariff.
Say it slow. You go to
Hassan Shariff, and I do have
your name.
Hassan. First name Hassan, last name Shariff. SHARIFF. Telephone number 314-612-0802. And the Journey Continue is a mentoring program that I take pride in. I want to be able to go with these youngsters. I'm working with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, Long International, a lot of Muslim kids, a lot of different kids, Bosnians, African.
I want to talk about this book. Get my number on this book.
Okay, and I just want y'all to know this is the beginning.
And remember, y'all gonna come back at the last segment and close out.
Okay, well, I want to tell you about my book. The name of my book is called Deadly Gangster 1.
1 minute.
And the telephone number is called 314-930-1651. Anybody want one? Call 930-1651.
What's the name of your book?
Deadly Gangster 1. About talking about the Petty Boys' legacy and history coming up in this city, how we fought for all this civil rights movement, our rights, our equal opportunity, how we talks about everything in that book. All the prisoners, all the courthouses, state houses, how the white folks cross y'all in the courthouse and stack all them prior convictions on you and run them wild on you, and then use it again and double your sentence. That's double jeopardy. You're going to use another man's prior conviction. You didn't give him time for it once before, and then 20 years later, you're going to give him the double amount of time he gave. Man, that's a double jeopardy. The double jeopardy law says no man can be sentenced twice for the same crime, but they let him get away with it in the courthouse.
So that book is called Deadly Gangster 1?
Deadly Gangster 1.
Give me that telephone number again.
Area code 314-930-1651. Anybody want one? It costs $20. If you want it, I'll give it to you for $15. Just cause you just tell me you got this information
on
off the show.
After 1600.
After 1600 a.m. and I will give it to you for $15.
Brothers and sisters, this show is hot. I think we only got 30 seconds left, so we're gonna close it on now. Make sure you get with Brother Hassan Shariff. They're gonna be here and help me close out this last segment. They're gonna go out there and bring my other guests in because I can't leave out while we live. So y'all will bring my Board of Education guest in. So we want to close out and tell you, we want to keep it, y'all got to keep it on lock, stop playing!
On lock, stop.
Stop playing!
So my brothers and sisters, we're live. They're going to go and bring my guest in for me because I can't leave. Bring them on in. Yes, sir. And then y'all can just wait. Don't leave now.
Hey, y'all but, some graphics for y'all organization.
We're still live, so.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get these numbers and everything, but I want them to go. I want y'all to go get my guests and bring them on there. Once you get ready for me on the next segment, please. I'm gonna give you all the information. These are my young people. Thank you. Don't leave. Okay. So brothers and sisters, be patient with us. They're going to get my guest. The next guest, I'm moving like this here because I'm excited about the next guest. Why? Because we talk about young people again. And I'm gonna tell you, we're not gonna be able to make it until we can pass. My uncle said something to me once. For brothers and sisters in the radio audience. And you know what they said to me? They said that, he said to me, he said, when children are in the house, you have life in the house. And when children are not in the house, you don't have life in the house. And I never forget that. Let those kids be in your house, Brother Bosley, and say, hey, y'all, what's all that noise for? And turn that TV down and who got the window open? And y'all come on in. See, when you got that there, you got life. But walk in the house and ain't nobody in that house but you, there's no life in that house. So now we're going to start hearing about some life because I'm not sure how many children St. Louis public schools deal with, but I know they deal with a lot, So I pray Allah that we can get this information out here, what they're doing with the charter school, or not doing with the charter school, But so I'm excited about them coming on. I pray Allah they be coming in a minute, and Brother Bosley is setting the tone for it. proud of this young brother here too. He's come in and he's been hitting home runs for us. All praise due to Allah. He's been hitting home runs for us. Bring him on in. Get your phone there. Thank you very much. Y'all don't leave. Come on in, brothers and sisters. Here's the special guest that I was just talking about, and I'm very excited because the doc is here. They're here first thing this morning. I don't know who. Come on, please. And y'all know this is Saturday morning. Them coming in live. We're on the radio part, but we're live in person, and they are just walking in. And what has happened? Well, we'll talk about certain things at certain times. Beautiful. Y'all can still.
Well, kind sir.
Beautiful. So y'all do me a special favor and talk right to the mic. Mary Bosley requested that this young lady come, and then she said you would come because you know I'm always wanting you to be here. And then all of a sudden he had to go on special assignment, so he's not here this morning, or he won't be here this morning. So you know it's Saturday morning as we speak. Right now we're live, but we're going to go on any minute. And y'all do me one special favor and talking directly into the mic. Okay. If you talk directly into the mic, y'all got some pretty masks on too. I see it, Sister Michelle Obama. Y'all trying to get some stuff started this morning. I love that. That's beautiful. You'll let me know when we're ready to come on. I'm really excited about this here because, and I don't know, so I remember Sister Bertha Gilkey was really pushing the schools. It was a lot of people. So, you know, Mayor Bosley was concerned about all the aldermen making a certain kind of vote, so y'all can help brief me on it. I wasn't up on everything. So he said, Brother Shahid, we got to get them in here. And there's always a lot happening around St. Louis public schools. And y'all are the ones who are making it happen. Y'all are the board members. So all praise due to Allah. So y'all can start talking. You can say anything until he tell us we're ready to come on live. You're live. We live and live. We ain't at the funeral home. We live. We've been having a lot of fun. These brothers here are some very powerful men. I don't know if y'all familiar who Brother Lorenzo Petty is. He has a very, very, very powerful history. And we were talking about young people, and that's why I was telling them that I couldn't wait for y'all to, you know, come on the set, because until we can tap into our young people, I was telling them about in one day, it was 3 shootings at the same house in one day. And if we don't reach our young people with education, you know, because when a person get in trouble, he should be able to go in his mind and rescue himself. But if he don't have nothing in his mind, and he don't have the opportunity that I know that y'all are turning backwards flips about. And even you, young lady, you look young, you are young, but you have a lot of youth in front of you, and the older ones like me, 67 years old, we have less time in front of us, so we have to take it real serious when we're doing with our youth and young people and give them everything we got. But jump on in, because he having signals that we're ready yet.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us as first. We're always happy to come here and be on. This is my second time, and I'm always happy when Dr. Roberts can join as well. One thing?
And one time you was on, you got hooked on us because you was running for office.
Yes.
And you wasn't here in person, but you was here through that virtual thing, or what they call it. Yeah, I don't know how they say this.
Well, good morning, Brother Shahid, and the rest of the family. We are always excited to come and advocate for the young people in the city of St. Louis. And so, again, thank you for having us. We're
just so honored. We'll be live on the radio just as soon as he give me the signal, but we got 4 or 5 people, and you're welcome to go live for us if you will. We appreciate that, too. We ready? Okay, can you go live for us, too?
Okay.
Okay. Give me a countdown. I'm saying, can you go live on your phone, too?
Oh, my phone is about to die, but...
Okay, well, you can't go live on...
Right. Sorry.
It's okay. Give me a countdown. Quiet on the set.
All right, quiet on the set. This next segment is going to be 20 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to start at 5, 4, 3, 2...
Welcome back. You're on the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Good morning again. We've had an exciting time. We've been talking about quite a bit, and we're blessed to have Brother Lorenzo Petty on, who gave a powerful history of his whole family and the history of St. Louis since 1973, and doing 26 years in jail, and why it was so important. But the main thing he made emphasis on was education. He made great emphasis that if he would have listened to his brother better, he would have been in a better position being educated. And also Brother Hassan Shariff. And of all things to talk about now, and who can really explain to us and make us understand better about education, is the educator, the board members of the educators. Am I saying this stuff right? You know,
Well,
but
you're very close,
I'm close.
and so the
You don't speak
community
right
understands what
Thank
you're
you.
saying. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Joyce M. Roberts, currently serving as president of the Board of Education of the City of St. Louis. And joining me to my left is...
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Alisha Sonnier. I'm a member of the Board of Education and chair of our AHAC Citywide Educational Planning Committee.
Come on, y'all jump in. How many young people do we have in the school, in the St. Louis public school? Because we're talking about the St. Louis. It's a lot of schools, so we're talking about the St. Louis public schools. I just want to be clear. I know, but I want to make sure our listening audience do.
Yes, sir. We are representing St. Louis Public Schools, and currently our student population is right around 19,000 plus students.
That's a lot of students.
And we're certainly happy to have them all back. The last couple of years have really been traumatic, but our young people are excited to be back in person, and we are excited that they are there as well.
And one thing I know for a fact you didn't, I want to just freestyle. I want you to feel welcome and warm this morning. Even though Mayor Bosley made it an issue that y'all was here. He made an issue, then he went on special assignment. I said, well, it's pretty good there, Mayor Bosley. As Allah is my witness, he made it an issue that y'all were here. He really did. So I guess the thing that I know that I'm 100% sure y'all was going to those schools. Mm-hmm. You were visiting schools, so nobody would have to tell you what was happening, that you could see what's happening. So jump on in, and then you can take us whichever way about the charter schools, the public school, why y'all voted a certain way, why the alderman's bagged you, all that kind of stuff. But I want to hear that kind of stuff first, if you don't mind.
Well, absolutely. We're happy to share that. And yes, it was a priority to visit all of the schools, so much so that I dragged you along on several of those visits.
Hey!
It's important to lay eyes on what's going on. And so
I loved it.
That is of tremendous value. We're happy to come in this morning and talk specifically around our call to action. And that call to action was prompted by the decision, and it's always a tough decision to close schools, but out of the closing of schools, we decided as a board, and the recommendation was also made by the superintendent to call for the moratorium on the opening of any more new schools until the citywide plan was developed. And so that's when the board put forth a call to form an ad hoc committee around citywide planning, of which Alisha is the chair. And I'll let her kind of speak to that before moving forward. Absolutely.
Go. Come on now, come on.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you why I'm excited. Anytime we got young people, and we make mistakes, so we're not trying to play perfect, but we can't make a mistake when we got young people. I promise you. Because when you got young people here, that's how you know you can make it, because they think different from us, and it's good. So I'm happy. So come on, sister.
I'm
talk.
Excited as well.
Yes.
Alisha?
Yes. So I'm super, super duper excited. The board, prior to me joining in May, the board, the previous board asked that we have a moratorium. And so a moratorium is an ask that we not have any new schools. So that is not whether you're public, whether you're charter, whether you're private. We are saying that we need to stop and we need to take a pause and an assessment of what's in our city. What do we have an abundance of? What do we not have enough of? And what are some strategic ways that we can come together to address these problems? Because whatever kind of educational entity you are, you know, we're from the public schools, but we're all facing similar challenges. I think if you look at the census data, you can see that the most decreasing population in our city is the youth. So we're talking a lot about young people, and in every single ward in the city of St. Louis, the youth population took a decline. Over the last decade, we've went from 60,000 to 45,000 youth population. So it is not only decreasing, but it's exponentially decreasing. And so the board is saying we need to pause and we need to figure some things out, because we are constantly having new schools and new buildings, but the data is not getting better. The test scores are not getting better. The children are not facing less trauma as a result of these increasing buildings. So let's come together as a city and let's figure this out. And so I'm extremely honored to serve St. Louis and to be chosen to chair this committee and lead some some of these conversations on, you know, what is our educational system missing and what can we do different? You know, we're in the state of Missouri, so we can't change our governor. We can't not be Republican. You know, a lot of state funding is out of our hands. But as a city, we have a new leadership that's arising that includes myself and lots of others. We have money coming into the district. We have money coming into our city. And we have a lot of crisis to fight. And we have a responsibility for, you know, I have a friend who 2 weeks ago wasn't even 20 years old and is buried. And so we're hearing these stories all the time. Terrible. So it's a dire time. It's crisis. We're at an inflection point. We've got to come together and figure some things out.
That made me want to ask the question. So when something like that happens, if they're still in St. Louis Public School, do y'all have grief? How do y'all do that? Do someone kind of come in and talk to the students that knowing that Friday they was with somebody and Monday that person is not there? How do y'all do that, Doc?
Absolutely. Okay. We do have our counselors and social workers come in and interact with our young people because they are indeed traumatized. Yes. And so we understand that, and we provide the resources to help them through the process.
That would be very powerful. That is very powerful because we can't play like that's normal. So that's really deep. I want to ask another question. And we're just going to freestyle. What kind of budget are y'all dealing with 19,000 children? What kind of budget are y'all?
Well, currently we have in the general operating budget close to $400 million. And everyone always says,
I don't think I can spell for it. That's a lot of money to be. That's beautiful though.
It sounds like a lot of money, but the majority of that money goes to staffing, to pay salaries, and we're still not paying our teachers enough.
Okay.
But a greater portion of that does go to staffing and to health care benefits and the like. This year, with President Biden's Build Back Better plan, we're getting some additional funding through the ESSER dollars.
It's called what now?
ESSER, ESSER is the acronym. And Alisha, do you want to expound on what that acronym stands for? It's elementary, secondary
That's heavy.
funding that we're getting from the Biden administration to be used for academic purposes. It's also being used to combat the COVID pandemic, to ensure that the air quality in our buildings is what it should be, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's elementary and secondary school emergency relief.
Yes.
That's what ESSER stands for.
Yes, thank you so much.
Say it again. Emergency what?
Elementary and secondary school emergency relief.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, so that's what ESSER stands for. And so just like, you know, the city of St. Louis received ARPA funds, ESSER is kind of the district version of that. And so those are funds that are going to be going towards doing what we can to alleviate and address some of the harm and some of the challenges that come as a result of the pandemic.
What is probably the biggest challenge that the schools are having now, you know, is the pandemic? What kind of problems are we having in the schools? Or what can we do to try to erect some of the things? How can the public help too?
Well, there are a number of challenges, but our parents and the community understood that our kids do better in school.
Yes.
And so it's important that we keep them safe while they are there. It does not totally eliminate the fact that at some point we do have kids and staff that are quarantined, and we're following the guidelines established by the health department to mitigate those issues. And so we're not where we want to be. We're still being challenged by the pandemic. And so collectively, there's issues with the buses that we also trying to resolve. And so the superintendent who is responsible for the operations is putting forth great care and effort to ensure that we can get all of our kids to school on time and home on time.
So that's the problem with the buses, try to get them there back and forth on time? Is that what the thing is?
That's one of the challenges. There's also a staffing challenge, not just in St. Louis, but across the nation. And Alisha, you want to speak to some additional challenges that are the district is being faced with.
Right, and I know you mentioned what can the public do, so I think this is a great time too. A part of what you were mentioning, why I know Mayor Bosley wanted us to come on, is because that moratorium that was called for by the previous board, there was a proposal for a resolution that went through the Board of Aldermen this past Friday, and it passed 24-1 or 25-1 was the total vote.
Yes.
So 2 were absent, 1 voted against, and then, the rest were in favor of it. And that did pass and go through. And a part of what allowed that to go through is the abundance of community who showed up and gave hearings. We put the call out and asked for parents and scholars who were in support and could understand the need for us to pause and really address the root of these issues, who showed up and gave testimonies that were heartfelt. And I think it worked to the point where out of all the issues that have passed through the Board of Aldermen, I don't know if the last time we've seen something like that where only 1 was in opposition of anything going through the board. So we're certainly grateful for that.
Okay. I was reading something, and I'm not sure which city it was in, where some fathers came together. I'm not sure if it's like 35 or 40 fathers. And
I recall that news story. They were having
Dads
fights.
on duty.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, some disruption in the schools, and 40 black men, fathers, came together.
And I heard that probably for the whole week it's not been Louisiana. I don't think it's been a problem since them daddies was up in there. Because
And all they had to do was show up.
that's sure.
They showed up, and that was really what calmed the entire situation.
Okay, so I'd like to try to do something like, I would rather talk to you off the, air and then see how we can get your blessings or what we need to do. But I think we could do something like that here.
I know we can.
I think we would certainly welcome the conversation.
Okay,
For sure.
I would like to do that and then use the radios, not just this station, but all the stations, because this is bigger than just 1600 Hallelujah. It's about trying to reach our young people, because it's not normal what they're going through. It really is not.
Yeah.
It's not normal. When I was growing up, I'm way older, we had yo-yos. I don't even know if I'm not trying to be smart. I don't even know if they know what a yo-yo is, or if they know how to jump rope. I'm not saying they don't. I just don't know, because I don't see kids doing it no more. When I was young, I seen it all the time. I see basketball people, stuff like that, which is good, but shooting marbles and playing jack, I just don't see that no more.
Well, when we were growing up, that's what was in the community. And so
that's my point.
We just followed the lead. We followed what we saw and what we heard. And times have changed, and children have other options, and parents are very busy. And so we have to take time. We have to make time for what's really important. And now we have a window of opportunity to come together as a community and a board to ensure that we are paving the way for our replacements.
How many board members is it?
We have a 7-member board.
7 members?
Yes. And then you talked about some of the challenges that the children or the youth are facing right now. And I think our hope with the citywide educational plan is that we can address some of those challenges. I know one of the most shocking things I've learned since joining the board and becoming a part of this process is we don't have a special school district in the city of St. Louis. Wow. And that was my response too when I found out. I was like, what? But yeah, we don't have a special school district in the city of St. Louis. I think that proposes a challenge. I think that the district gets majority. We get 60% of our funding from property taxes, but we have a slew of corporations as well as universities and different entities that don't pay in, and so that hurts the district. Because earlier $400 million was like, whoa. I met someone recently at an event, and they are a part of a school district in New York City. Their school district has 6,600 kids. They have a 6,600 kids, and they have a $400+ million budget for 6,600 kids. And so $400 million might sound like a lot, but when you're the 3rd largest employment entity in the city, right up under BJC, the district is, when you have 19,000 kids, when you've got buses, when you've got children, an array of services that we offer through the district, whether you're talking about social workers, whether you're talking about nurses, community events, that money really goes short. And I think, it sounds like a lot, but I mean, it really isn't. It's not nearly enough, especially when you think about the amounts of concentrated poverty that that we have in the city. Now, maybe if we're in Ladue or somewhere, $400 million could do it. But in our district, we have to think of children who are dealing with unprecedented crime, who are dealing with mental health issues. Now we're adding a pandemic onto it. I mean, it's a lot, and I'm just getting started. We could keep going. So certainly not enough.
Well, I'm impressed, and I know Dr. Joyce, she just cold, period. She's a grand master, but I'm really impressed to hear you ain't looking at no notes.
Exactly.
Brothers and sisters, as Allah's my witness, I'm simply looking now. She ain't looking at her notes, because they don't even take notes. I take notes. If I'm around me, I take notes, but she's not taking a note, and she's just popping off the top of her head, and that's just show you that when you give young people an opportunity, they can show up and show out.
Exactly.
That's really important to me too. How many schools are closed? How many schools y'all think y'all have closed now?
Well, let me just share that in the last round of closings, 10 schools were identified, and we went with 7 of those schools. It's always a real challenge to the community when we say, and when St. Louis Public Schools identifies schools for closing. But what I want the community to understand, the one constant that has been on the St. Louis Public Schools, we've always been there. We didn't leave the community. The community had an opportunity of choice, and with that choice that came along with the desegregation of public schools, parents chose other options. And it wasn't that we left the community. The community, by and large, left us, and that's okay. Yeah. We support choice. But if there are no children in the community, it is not fiscally responsible for us to keep schools open. Okay. And I just want the community to understand that.
Well, and I really like how she said the choice, because I know Sister Bertha Gilkey, who was a legend in this town, and may Allah be pleased with her. She's not here no more, but she was a powerful sister. She really pushed charter schools. Mm-hmm. And also Sister Clara Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's wife, because she was saying that, going into this white man's school, some of the history that they taught, they never taught us our history. And that's why we were always, on a different level from them, because they didn't want to give us what we supposed to have. So I was glad to hear you make that statement, but I really understand what the young lady is saying, that how we going to keep on opening up schools? You can't keep on opening them up, and then there's a lot of bills to pay. My common sense tell me if they got to have lights, they got to have heat, they got to have either air conditioning, they got to have somebody clean up, they got staff. So that's another problem. So that makes a lot of sense,
And it's also tied to funding. If you have a building that has 200 kids in it, they will not. 200 kids. Just in one building, and that school was designed to house 1,000 students. The funding that comes with 200 does not match the funding that comes to a school that has 600 kids in it. And so the funding follows our students, and it's the discretionary monies that the principal can use, and it's not enough to go around in terms of the resources we want to provide to our young people.
Yeah, and I think, you talked about choices, and you have a choice of the educational institution you want to attend. But one thing that we don't have a choice for is we don't have a choice but to acknowledge that it's time that we do something radically different with education. And I think that's something when people talk about charter schools, they talk about innovation a lot. And I think that regardless of what educational institution you're a part of, we don't have a choice but to figure this out. Even when you're talking about academic performance, the most recent annual score report showed less than a 2% difference. So whether you're going to a public school or a charter school, you're getting similar education. And so I hope that our community sees that we don't have a choice but to start to reimagine and think collectively about solutions and possibility. And that's going to include folks like the Board of Education, elected officials, and the community coming together to engage. Let me say this,
because I don't want to, if you could stay over, y'all could stay over just a little bit longer, because I don't want to rush in, and we haven't gave out any of your information or anything, but we got to go to a break. Can you stay with me just a little bit longer?
Certainly.
We'd be so on. So we got 30 seconds, and I don't really have to do nothing. Just sit back today and play like I got it going on. I can trick them. But you're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Keep it on lock. I need y'all to help me. And stop playing.
Okay.
So we got to practice on this one here.
Yeah, we need a little
so-
Get it
practice.
next time.
So, yeah, I gotta tell you, so brothers and sisters, we're still live, so I want them to keep on talking. This school piece is a heavy piece because Brother Petty was talking about it, and he's going to talk about it when he come back on the last segment with us. If he would have had education 26 years, probably he wouldn't have been in jail. Probably. Only God knows. We can't look ahead and only know God.
Right.
But he was saying how important education was and why his brother was pushing that on him when they thought playing hooky was okay and all that old kind of stuff of being in the streets. And just like you just said, it's a different when children's in the school and when they ain't in the school. You know, you're in the street, you get a chance to do a whole lot of stuff. So we live on a whole lot of sets around it. So just whoever want to jump in and help us until we come back, we'll take about another 2 or 3 minutes before he get us ready to come back on. Just jump on in, please. Help me.
Alisha, would you talk a little bit about our first ad hoc committee
Yes.
for citywide planning?
Yes. So this past Monday, October 25th, we held our first meeting with stakeholders. And so this is honestly something that's historic. I don't think any time in the boards of education of the district's existence have we had early signs of this type of collaboration. So the mayor's office, the board of aldermen, St. Louis Development Corporation, the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation, Urban Planning and Design Department. I mean, so many major entities in the city showed up in this space and received their invitation and are going to engage with us in this citywide educational process, and realizing that this is a collective call, you know, and it's going to take all of us creatively in our different areas to put these solutions. And so something like that is historic. And the St. Louis Development Corporation also came on our recent board meeting, so it wasn't for the citywide planning, but they came and gave a presentation and talked about some of the impacts that TIFs and abatements have on the district, some of their hopes for collaborations and partnerships. And so I think we're just seeing this new leadership and new collaboration in a way that has not happened before.
Well, it's important because we talking about our kids.
Oh.
You know, we talking about our kids. I mean, our children. I shouldn't say kids, but we're talking about our children, and we can't make it without our children. My Uncle Seymour said to me one time, it was really important. He said, when you don't have children in the house, you don't have life in the house. And our children is our life, and it's only so long we're going to be here, whether we want to pass on or not. Father time is going to come in. And I was blessed. Early this week, I went to my doctor and got, and I said, Brad, I'm thankful. I'm a 90% on everything with my health from top to bottom.
Queen Bill of Health.
I'm serious.
We like to
That
see
means we can get you to do some more volunteer work with our youth.
I would be, whatever you tell me to do, especially about, and I respect you so much, and you know that. Anything you ask me to do, include my little sister here, I'm going to do it. I'm going to help. But I got some brothers. My blessing is I have manpower. I have men behind me. I have a lot of people. I just don't say it. I'm thankful. Let me just say it like that. I have a lot of people that I deal with. I'm presently dealing with a situation in Dubai. A witness for me is Allah's my witness at 1 o'clock St. Louis time. We'll be talking to Israel in the morning.
Wow.
Most people don't know that. Most time, even on Fridays for our Jumu'ah prayer service, 2 weeks ago, I had 7 countries on, along with about 200 people on, 250 people on. I had Brother Juma was in Ethiopia was on. I had the Dominican Republic on, who was with Brother Amir Muhammad. I also had Brother Sammy and them from the store on Natural Bridge in New State on, and they was in Lebanon. And the other brother was in Iraq. I've been blessed to have a lot of powerful people, you know, and I'm just thankful, you know. So I don't take the position where I don't need nobody. I need everybody because everybody need each other, because when I wasn't nowhere, I had these kind of contacts. It was always somebody to help me. And I'll say before we go on, I've always been close to Christian people. Most people don't know that because of a family named the Harvey family. And they probably get tired of hearing it, but I'm always said, Miss Martha Harvey is 94 years old, and if that woman, if I even think she wants something, I'm going to go get it for her. When my mother and my whole entire family didn't have nothing going for herself, she let 7 people move in her house, and she had, it was already 8 of them for 3 years. And I'm going to be honest with you, Allahu Akbar, that means God is great. I'm going to be honest with you, I'll help somebody anything. If I got some money, I can't let no 7 people move my house. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
So that woman, I said to anybody, she is a better Christian. I said this publicly. She's a better Christian than I'm a Muslim. Because even with what I think I understand, I'm going to help you now. I'm not going to just turn you down. I'm going to do something. I can't meet you, do everything you ask me, but I'm going to meet you some way.
Well,
I'm just keeping it real, though. And maybe some of y'all let some 7 people move in your house. It's okay.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all human, and we have some things that we will and will not do.
Yeah,
That doesn't make us a bad person.
Yeah, Miss Martha Harvey to me, she's you can't get no better than her than me. And I love that woman. There's nothing, her and her family. And if they hear me right now, they'll say, boy, I don't care where I go, I'm going to talk about that family.
Yeah.
So somebody help me up, is what I'm saying. So we got to be somewhere where we can help each other. Are we ready to come back on set? And brothers and sisters, thank y'all so much for being patient with us. You know we're taping. You know we try to get the information out. You said we ready?
About a minute.
One more minute, brothers and sisters. Then we got Sister Doctor. I said Dr. Joyce Honorable. How do I supposed to say? Y'all got to help me before I mess up, because they always say, Brush, you always messing something up. Do we supposed to say honorable? How are we supposed to say this stuff?
You were saying, I'm Joyce M. Roberts.
Honorable Joyce M.
I didn't say honorable.
But you can't tell me what to
That's your
say.
point.
But you can't
I
tell me
would say honorable. I would say the Dr. Roberts. Okay. I would say Goat Roberts. Okay.
I'm gonna say something to you. This board here with your direction means a lot. Whenever I know you anywhere, I have so much respect for you. It's sickening. When I like somebody, I like, and when I don't like you, I don't care who you is. You can be the president. I'm serious. I let loose on you. I'm serious about you. You're a serious and a heart attack, sister, and everybody knows you're holding me. I just like how your style.
Okay, all right.
You say I received that. That's what you say,
I
Dr.
received
Roberts.
that.
You say
Thank you, honorable. Thank you, honorable. Can we just short this?
That's too much over the top for me.
Okay.
But Alisha
But it's the
said
truth,
to
but-
receive it,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I
Yes,
receive it.
But we ready? Yes, sir. Quiet on the set.
This last segment gonna be 22 minutes.
This is not the last. This is the last
That's
minute.
the final.
Okay, then we got. Okay, so if y'all can
We got
stay the
one
whole
more
while.
after
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
So this
And then y'all
segment
help me
is
close
22
out.
minutes.
Thank you.
Going 5, 4, 3, 2.
We're back. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're back this morning on the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show, and I'm extremely excited because in the studio, here live in person, on stage, the doctor. I ain't gonna get no trouble. Dr. Joyce Roberts. I'll just tone it down a little bit, but I'm always
Goat
happy
Roberts,
about it.
the Dr. Roberts.
All
Okay.
right,
And who's that
Calm
voice?
down.
And I hear
Calm
another
down.
voice over it. And what voice was that for somebody that just came on, didn't hear the first segment? And who are you, young lady?
I'm Alisha Sonnier, and I'm a member of the Board of Education
And the chairman. Come on now.
and the chair of the Citywide Educational Planning Committee, and also TIF Commissioner.
I ain't cut nobody short because I'm going to be honest with you. You know, these positions ain't something you just pop. Somebody had to feel something about you to say that she need to be the chair. Just keeping it real. Ain't somebody just, y'all didn't pull nothing out, no rabbit out, no hat on some numbers and say, hold up, this her number came to y'all didn't do it like that.
Well, you look for people who are hardworking, energetic, and willing to take on this enormous task. This has never been done before to this extent. Chicago and Washington, D.C. have started a citywide planning, but the schools are under the mayor. And so we have been elected by our community to put forth their vision and values, student achievement, transparency, accountability, and community engagement. And that's what this citywide plan is really all about. And if I could say any one thing, it would be to engage our parents and the broader community to participate. We want you to come forth with solutions. And if we all put forth solutions, we can make this happen because it's critical and it will impact all children who attend schools in St. Louis.
When we was off the air earlier, Sister Sonia, you were saying something about St. Louis Development came together and some other groups. Can you jump back on that for me? Because I want the people that didn't get a chance to hear us off the air talking to get that
Yes.
information, please.
Of course. So this past Monday, October 25th, the Citywide Educational Planning Committee held our first meeting, our first public meeting that you can find on YouTube on the St. Louis Public Schools YouTube channel. And so we sent invitations. It's called Citywide. So we sent invitations to the St. Louis Development Corporation, to the mayor's office, to the Board of Aldermen, to the comptroller's office, from urban planning and designing, St. Louis Public Schools Foundation, really thought about all of the major city players who can execute this plan and who have resources and knowledge and wisdom and expertise to bring to the table, and they all accepted that invitation. And so on Monday, we held our first meeting and we discussed why we're having a citywide educational plan. What are some of our hopes of moving forward? We also were able to have parents present to speak on some of the things that they were looking for. And so it was an amazing meeting. And I was saying that it's historic. We've never had this type of collaboration between the city and the district ever. You know, when I was campaigning, even when I came on the show, what I said was those 3 platform points. And one of them was community immersion, this idea that the district cannot exist in isolation. If it does, it won't be long before it's flown off and not a thing anymore. And so I think Monday was the first step to us all being partnerships, being collaborators, and understanding that this is a collective problem and it's going to take a collective solution.
Wow. Come on, Doc. You seem like you're going to say, come on. We freestyle. Hey, we freestyle. Y'all running this. I don't have to do it, but sit back and look good. Since I'm 90% in shape and everything, I do a lot of walking, so I've been blessed to get at least 5 to 6 miles.
Well, it is an exciting time, and I couldn't be more thankful that our mayor, Tashara Jones, has stepped up to assist in this effort, along with the amazing presentation that was done last night by Neil Richardson, who is
he's sharp. Oh, I like that brother there.
The fact that he centered St. Louis Public Schools in the conversation and invited us to the table so that we do indeed have a collective, collaborative partnership that puts our youth first.
Ken, I got to jump and say, you started something now. This brother is sharp. Mm-hmm. Neil, he real sharp. And I'm going to tell you why I first met this young brother. If you got some youth, you're going to get my total attention. He was working with some young people at a house. And I'm trying to remember where that house was. I'll tell you exactly where it is, around Fountain Park. He was working with some young people and called me over there. I had heard about him. So I told him, I said, hey, young man, let me come and see what you're doing so I can see how I can help you. And I went over there and seen him having them young people gut out a whole house. And I would come every week to see progress. Mm-hmm. And it looked like within, I'm just going to make some up, a 4-month or 6-month period of time, he was having people coming in, showing them what to do. They were they sold that house. And then they started buying, they split the money up. This is what I know for a fact. And then they sit and start writing books. And he helped them sell it. Mm-hmm. And that's what made me go out. And he'll tell you to this day, I went out and put about a lot of powerful people around him. They was called Builders.
So the organization is called Dream Builders for Equity.
Okay, I couldn't remember that. Okay. I don't remember all that. All I remember is he was doing some powerful stuff. And he was using the St. Louis public schools to get brothers from the different schools. Yes. That was kind of like a little lacking. And it caught their total attention. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was very, very, so when you just said that name, see, I'm real about something that's real, and something ain't real, I don't do no whole lot of talking about it. That brother, so when I found out that the mayor had put him in that position, and also you, young lady, I found out she appointed you too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, look at that. Come on, look at clap. I was very, 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 very happy. But that brother Neil, and you too, because you can see she didn't just make no mistake. In the street, they don't say sharp, they say sharp. Y'all sharp. Real sharp. Yes. Go ahead, you can fit. I had to jump in there because you was talking about Neil, and I mean, that really, I'm proud of him.
Yeah, Mr. Richardson and his whole team, St. Louis Development Corporation, accepted our invitation, and they showed up on Tuesday and gave the whole board a presentation and explained a little bit about TIFs and developments, and gave us the invitation to be a part of their strategic plan that they're working on, an economic justice plan that the St. Louis Development Corporation is working on, and to identify some of those overlaps between their pillars for economic justice and the intersection with that and the district. And so I think it's going to be amazing having him in that position, having Mayor Jones a part of that. It's going to be amazing. If you watched the meeting on Tuesday, you saw that overlap.
That's a powerful position. Tell me what we're not getting out that we need to get out about what the board, y'all might be the best kept secret. I'm not sure what it is that y'all are doing. Some of the big accomplishment that you want, those are some big accomplishments you already talked about, but is there some more big accomplishment that we need to talk about? It's some other things. Plus, we still got quite a few more minutes, but I want to make sure we start giving out your information. When is the board meetings? How often do we have board meetings? I love that you talked about parents. How can we get more parents involved to the board? I mean, I'm just talking, but y'all the icing on the cake. I'm just a little piece of a cake.
Well, we want parents to know that there is a lot of misinformation in the universe, and that
You ain't talking about, this me saying, you ain't talking about Trump lying all the time. You ain't saying that, but that's great.
I'm talking about around St. Louis public schools.
Oh, okay. Yes,
And
ma'am.
the narrative of the district has been co-opted by others. And we are determined that we're going to tell our own story. And we're going to work as hard as we can, as fast as we can, to ensure that our young people are successful. But the Board of Education cannot do that alone. We get the blame, by and large, when things don't go right. And so we want to say to the community that we need to communicate with one another, that there's no issue that we can't resolve if we're focused on really finding a solution that's going to benefit our young people. And we often hear that St. Louis public schools are failing, and that's why people are leaving the community, and that's not so.
Okay.
People are leaving the community because they don't have adequate housing, they don't have adequate jobs, and so they go where they have access to those things. That's why this citywide plan is so important, because it will address those major pillars. And those things were identified last night in Mr. Richardson's presentation, and it overlaps with what we know to be true. We have an inordinate number of homeless students, and we're advocating for them. We're advocating for all students. I'd like to invite the community to our board meetings. We have 2 a month, unless we have a special call session. They're on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month. You can find the details on the district's website.
And what's the, just give it to them, just so they.
www.slps.org.
www, say again.
www.slps.org. We also want to share the importance of advocacy. A lot of the things that occur are mandates that come from Jefferson City, and we don't control that, but we do want to make sure that our parents can become our biggest advocates. And so in order to do that, we want to share the information that will make a difference.
That's a big piece there, not to cut the Jefferson City. You open up a can of worms, but keep on going.
It is
I'm
what.
gonna talk about them after y'all leave.
Uh-huh.
It
is what it
in
is.
a lot of trouble, but it's okay. I like being in trouble.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
think.
even feel right when I ain't in trouble. I'm being honest with you.
But I think we can be strategic. There is no obstacle that we can't overcome. We have enough brain power to get it done if we can come together as a team and move forward.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and you're right. But what I'm saying, these people are so diabolical. Them people, they all this stuff sound good, and it's okay whichever way y'all do it. I let loose on them, because what
Well,
I
you're the
find.
person we gonna see. We can't let loose on them.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that there, is because I seen Dr. King do it one way and Malcolm do it one way, and they don't get. I seen Barack Obama do it one way. I said it don't make no difference which way you do it. These people ain't right. And I don't care how much you sit and talk to them about being right. Them people that went up there on January 6th, it's me talking, I'm not talking for y'all. January 6th, them people crazy as hell. And they don't want to hear a damn doggone thing we talking about. If they got the votes, it ain't nothing these people won't do. Nothing. And whatever you phantom, they gonna just get this laugh, because I got to get them. But I'm gonna get them when y'all leave.
Yeah, you can get them later.
Okay, I'm gonna get them later.
Yeah. We all understand that.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, in spite of that, we have to craft a plan that we can live and work by and benefit from. And so that's why parents are going to be so key.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We often hear that charter is an answer to doing something different. They've co-opted the word innovation. Innovation occurs in every St. Louis public schools. And how do I know that? Because I've been in all of them.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's all about the language, and we want to encourage our parents to not be fooled by that, not to be fooled by empty promises. We don't give out gift cards to woo you away. We don't say to you, if you have a fourth grader, we're going to put them in fifth grade. We don't do those kinds of things.
These people do all kinds of stuff.
And so,
That's called, that's called trifling, but go ahead.
but I just want parents to understand that get the real facts, and we're going to put forth the data. It's not about them and us. It's about we. And if we get on the we track, that's where the possibilities exist. And that's why we are encouraging the broader community to support our citywide planning effort.
And Josh Holly and them, boy, them people something. That's when I keep hearing this stuff. All that stuff be sounding good, but these people just ain't going. Michael Jackson said, all I really know is they don't really care about us. And they don't. But I'm just thankful that y'all are where y'all at, because y'all are so powerful. And even the way you even speak. You know, it's hard to even, that's why I have to say, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, till you walk out that door. And my words bond, I'm going to let loose on it. It's going to be a part two. I'm going to finish. I got to get them, because I don't need them. So I'm free. And I'm thankful that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I have to say this here, I am so thankful for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Not only did he save my life, he made me a free black man. I can say what I want to say. I don't fear none of them. On no level do I need nothing from none of them. I need my people, Allahu Akbar, but I don't need nothing from none of them. And I mean that from my heart, and I just hate how they dog our people. It's whichever way we turn, boy, we get the less of everything, you know. But I'm so thankful for my sisters and them. I'm serious. I'm proud of y'all. And I don't like saying nobody attack black women. I just don't. No, not the way they get, unless they wrong. If they wrong, but they, these people something. There ain't nothing they won't do. It just ain't nothing these people won't do, They just, but y'all are blessed. We are blessed to have a board here. What all board members do they have? I know a few of them, but I don't think I know all of them by name. What's some of the other ones? Even don't know.
So you have Natalie Val.
Okay.
You have Donna Jones. You have Regina Fowler. You have Matt Davis. You have Tony Cousins. You have Dr. Roberts. And you have myself.
Okay,
and that is your Board of Education.
We can send it to you.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of know who they are and all that kind of stuff. I kind of didn't seen them and stuff, but who I know is y'all. I love Sister Tony.
I feel very grateful. Tony's the vice chair of the Citywide Educational Planning Committee, and I can say, as the youngest person on the board, and
excuse me, the youngest person on the board.
Probably the youngest elected official in St. Louis. Honestly.
Ooh, that's powerful.
But it is an honor to get to learn from a board of education like ours, to get to learn from people like you, Brother Shaheed, to get to learn from Dr. Roberts. It's really an honor and a pleasure to get to learn and to get to encourage my peers and say, let's get in here, let's do this, because we are the ones we've been waiting for. It's not going to be these other people that are going to save us. It's going to be ourselves who save us.
You're right. Brother Juma Muhammad has a saying. He said, the leader you're looking for is inside of you. God is great. The leader you're looking for, we're looking for somebody outside us, Superman, Batman, Ultraman. But we're supposed to look at the black man. Look at yourself. You can't be what you can't see. And strong black men mean a big difference. And that's why whenever we walk up, Tahi Youth Group, the brothers walk in, they already know that they can see it. We don't have to open our mouths. They see Brother Lorenzo Petty walk in with us. The whole conversation is over with, because they understand we're not there playing no game. We're not tough, but at the same time, we don't run from nothing. We don't start nothing, but we're not running from nothing. And we have to back y'all up. I would really love to have the conversation about the school and how to get the fathers in. I really want to have a conversation with you on that, Doc, and so how we can do that and then start initiating it. Not just it's not about this station on this. It's about whoever we can push, and I have a lot of contacts with all the different stations, because I believe in that there. We really have to push that there, and I think we can do that real big. And I really believe, from what I was reading, I think he said Louisiana, it really made a big difference. I don't know how long they were doing it, and I don't know why I didn't take time to read that whole article, but it caught my total attention when I seen it. I read a smidge of it, but I think I was going through something and didn't take time to digest it properly. But I can just imagine it. Your daddy up in that school, so a whole lot of less things you're going to be wanting to do, like acting a fool.
Yeah. It was the mere fact that they were present.
Yes.
And so that presence must move from the school to the neighborhood.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's a conversation for another time.
We can do that. Mike Brown was doing something similar to that. And what we were doing, and I'm trying to remember that school off of Natural Bridge, off of looking Hunt. It wasn't in St. Louis City, but we did it about 4 or 5 times. When the kids got off the bus, it looked like it was once a week, once every other week. I'm not remembering what it was. Yes, and okay. And when they got off the bus, we were right there talking to them, and we stayed around. We didn't just greet them when they got off the bus. We said, let's stay around. I think we did like I'm just making something up, from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, going in and out of the classroom. And then we did it with Devin Alexander. Devin is a young boxer in this city that a lot of these young people can relate to. Plus, he looks young like my sister here. And when you're young like that, it made a big difference, just the mere fact they saw Devin Alexander. And Devin used to do it, to be honest, come to those schools, not so much when they got off the bus, but Devin Alexander used to go to those schools when he was the champion, when he had 3 belts. He was the only young brother around here with 3 belts, and he would go to the school. It would blow those children's mind to see him there. And we have to start doing those things, So I really want to get with you, and that's what I really like to do.
Mm-hmm. You asked about the challenges that the district was facing,
Yes.
and one of those challenges, and there are many, is the fact that charter schools want to take the funding from St. Louis public schools to their schools, and they have the legislatures supporting that effort. And so we want to be cognizant of the fact that charters...
The legislation in Jefferson City?
Are supporting taking funding from St. Louis public schools and giving it to charter schools. And what I want the community to know is that charters came into the educational landscape in St. Louis in 2000. We are still currently in litigation around funding around desegregation. And so the last bill that went before the legislature was for $17 million. And so let me just give a simple example. If I worked at this radio station and I was let go, or I decided to leave and go to another radio station, I'm not going to take the paycheck that I earn here with me. And so I just want the community to understand that there's something wrong in that. And while we have champions that support that, they are not in the schools or in the district. They are external people trying to co-opt the narrative of the district.
I want to thank both of y'all for coming in. I think we got about a minute. So can you give out your... I would love for you to be here for a whole 10 hours. Just we don't got 10 hours. If we had 10 hours, you would be here for 10 hours. But what information can you give out to the people? You gave out the board meetings every second and fourth Tuesday. I heard that part for the board meetings. Is there anything else that you'd like to give out before we close out? Or any closing statement in the last 1 minute? We got 1 minute left.
Well, in closing, I can be reached directly at joyce.roberts@slps.org. I read my email all day long because I get a ton of emails, and I respond
I bet you do.
to them as well. So again, I can be reached directly at joyce.roberts@slps.org.
Yes. Via email, same thing, Alisha.Sonnier@slps.org. And then also, I'm going to make sure I represent accordingly. You can also find me on social media at Alisha, Lisha Liberty, on Instagram and Twitter as well, and Alisha Sonnier on Facebook.
I appreciate y'all coming. Go ahead, you can say something else.
I don't do, what did you say? Twitter and Snapchat. What's the
Instagram.
other? I don't do
some
those.
stuff on TikTok
I'm
or
very
something.
basic. You can find me at that joyce.roberts@slps.org, and I am on Facebook.
Yeah,
praise
and
the
then in
Lord.
conclusion, thank you, Brother Shahid,
No,
for having us on, and thank you,
Mary
community.
Bosley. I'm happy y'all was here, but I have to thank Mary Bosley.
Thank you, Mary Bosley.
So, brothers and sisters, we're wrapping up this segment here. Thank you very much. So we're going to close out. Everybody together, keep it on lock, and what?
Don't
Stop playing! You said don't play, stop. It's all right. Brothers and sisters, y'all, even out there, y'all need to get them. They were good. They don't have any notes. They came out the top. I was making notes. I make notes. I can't help them. I'm talking. I'm a note writing person. Anybody know me?
I do
know
notes too.
If you know me,
Yeah.
I'm going to do notes every day. This is the notes so far for the day, brothers and sisters. Every day I make notes. For the last 45 years, I make notes. I'm a note, and I'm gonna take these notes and put them inside these notes to verify these notes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Well, thanks again, my brothers.
Thank
It's
you so
always
much.
a pleasure.
So y'all look at them for well, not last time until I get them back on, because this is high level here. So get you another look. We're going on the studio.
Well, we'll say bye to the next time.
Thank you so much. I said, do me a favor, escort them out and then come right on back in, because we're ready to start the last
All right,
segment.
take care,
Thank you.
guys.
And we'll give y'all, and then we're gonna talk, because I got to find out what's about how we can help in the other little situation here. Let me put this on my sister.
Oh, we got to get a picture of the group.
Come
You
on,
know
we can do
can't
sure we
leave
can.
here. Yeah, we can't leave without
Come
that
on, we
part.
gotta do, brothers and sisters, y'all got just hold for a second. We're gonna take pictures around here. And I got your coat too, my sister.
I'll get a picture of y'all behind this.
Okay, behind the desk, okay, because he wants the background back here. Thank you so much.
Everybody's phone.
Thank y'all for coming. This is, y'all
Yeah,
look
Dr.
good.
Robert's going to give you hers.
Y'all look good.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Come on, sir.
Y'all cold.
Come a long way.
Come on, what you do? You gonna get on this side, bro?
We're going to get some balance working
ma'am.
here now.
Whichever way y'all fit, it's okay with me. Yeah, I don't think this hold on. Can't do it like that. Now, y'all got bush out here. Cut
We
that.
didn't do that.
I bleed my black ribs. I'm just looking country already. Oh, that's cold. She said they didn't do that. That's cold.
Right on count of three. 1, 2.
Let's do one more. I'm gonna just hold our breath for a minute. I'm gonna take my mask off. That's something how y'all do it. I'm
1,
holding.
2, 3. Got it.
All right, thank you so much.
No matter, thank you,
Yeah,
sister.
I-
Thank y'all
yeah.
so much. Do me a favor. Escort them not only to the, put them in their cars. We're gonna, brothers and sisters, y'all have to be patient with me one more time. We don't just walk sisters out. We're gonna put can you get this coat for her? I don't believe she threw
it over.
He gonna throw it over. We spoke, come on now, that's how we get down. You can roll your eyes as long as you want to. Come up in here, once you leave out, we're gonna take you to your car, sister. This is the Honorable Dr.
Robert.
Walking away.
The GOAT, Robert.
Now, we got to spoil y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Okay, it's a pleasure meeting
Yes,
you
ma'am.
too,
Lorenzo,
sir.
I got a
Yes,
book
sir.
out.
Okay, well, you.
So
give
brothers
him
and
a-
sisters, Brother
okay,
Shahid's gonna
wonderful.
continue to talk until they come back. They're gonna help me close out. So as soon as y'all come back in, come right on back. As soon as y'all come on back, come straight on back in. But make sure that door don't lock on you out there too, okay? That's good enough. Hey, get that back when you come on. I'll get that, please. Come right on back in, please. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much. We don't stage anything. We keep everything real. And damn people in Jefferson City, they crazy as hell. I ain't trying to cause them no problem. People crazy as hell. When your leadership, well, they not my leadership, but when the so-called leadership is messed up, your head is messed up, everything is messed up. You can't get it right. How the hell you gonna get something right when they starting off wrong? You know, these people, it ain't nothing these people won't do. And we talking about especially with a school district, and they playing games like trying to buy their way in, giving people cards and earlier say, talking about going from the 4th grade to the 5th grade. If you do this, they'll do that. No. We want to do everything the way it's supposed to be done. I used to train boxers, and there was one, which I won't say his name, he used to like to do shortcuts. That's why he had problems when he got in that ring. It ain't no shortcuts. Sacrifice represents success. If you want to sacrifice, you're willing to be successful. If you don't sacrifice, guess what? You will not be successful. It's impossible for you to be successful. You got to put that sacrifice in. And I'm so thankful that they cover so much stuff. I want to cover just a little bit around here on this veil of prophets, the segregationist attack circuit attorney Kim Gardner. And you got Edward Dow Jr. And I didn't know all about this stuff here. This boy here, when Kimberly Gardner was elected from St. Louis as the St. Louis Circuit Attorney in 2016, she promised to reform a broken St. Louis justice system, treat all citizens equal before the law, bring in cops who repeatedly lied in court, and help unite the city and save tax money. And that's what she did. Right after that, they talk about how Eric Greitens case highlighted the crisis, excuse me, On the 22nd, February 22nd, 2018, Missouri Governor Eric Greitens was indicted by the St. Louis grand jury. He was arrested and charged with felony invasion of privacy and sexual misconduct. He allegedly took semi-nude photos of women with whom he had extramarital affair and threatened to transmit these photos electronically. Governor Greitens faced 7 years in prison and fined $10,000. It goes on to say that Governor Greitens was represented by Ed Dow Jr. Now, this is where this whole piece comes from. Listen to this real closely. A known leader of the Vela Profit Organization, Ed Dow pulled together a high-powered legal defense team which unlimited budget to defend Greitens. He put money, he put a bank behind it. But listen to this, y'all. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Dow was the leader of the Order of the Vela Prophet, an all-male racist organization with more than 100 years of history of promoting racism and segregation policies. The organization, often referred to as the Ku Klux Klan. When we get back on the air, I want to show this here, brother. Ain't that something? These are people that's coming after her because she sit and talked about somebody who messed up. It wasn't her. That was her job to prosecute this white boy. But they supposed to give him a free ride, and if she would have gave him a free ride, she wouldn't have had no problem. But because she didn't give him no free ride, the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, Ed Dow, and guess who else is a part of that team with the Ku Klux Klan? That damn, what's his name? I'm looking for it. Scott Rosenblum. That don't, along with Dow, other attorneys involved with conspiracy include Scott Rosenblum, James Bennett, and Gerald Kamadi, a real estate attorney. So these are people who came at her, straight Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, I'm put. Oh man, I don't have to hold back on nothing. My stuff. If it's too hot, don't sit in here because we live now. Yeah, we live. We got 10 more minutes and then we'll be through. Y'all gonna do this last 10 minutes with me? Y'all are doing the last 10 minutes with me. You're welcome to. You need to sit back for a minute. If you
10 more minutes?
Yeah, we're gonna do 10 more minutes. That's why I asked y'all to wait.
I got
We're still live. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, just know we're live. You ready? You gonna do the last segment with us?
This is the last segment?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. My hair's good.
Oh, you gonna be able to get my sister? You're gonna hear her voice. Okay, I got to hit this just real quick. This is a piece with this doggone reason they attacking Sister Kim Gardner.
You want to start off with that?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start off with.
We're going to start at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Good morning. You're back on the Freeman Bosley Jr. show, and we done covered a lot of information. We done had, which we got now that's going to close out with us, and then we also got a special treat. Sister Secretary is back.
Good morning, good morning.
Sister, I hear a voice. I'm not sure. Was that Sister Secretary Felicia?
We say tag a friend and bring him in.
She said tag a friend and bring him in, and we now joined again by Brother Lorenzo Petty, the legendary Brother Lorenzo Petty.
Yes.
And also Brother Hassan, Shariff, and I'm going to let them help close. But I want to hit this one piece I got to hit on the veil of prophet segregationist attack on Kim Gardner. Why they attacked her, and I read it off to everybody because we only have like 5 minutes. So I want to just kind of chop it up quick. When Eric Greitens case highlighted the crisis on February 22nd, 2018, the Missouri governor was indicted in the St. Louis grand jury. He was arrested and charged with felony invasion of privacy and sexual misconduct. He alleged took semi-nude photos of women who he had extramarital affairs and threatened to transmit photos, blase, blase. But this is the piece here. Governor Greitens was represented by Ed Dow Jr., a known leader of the Vela Profit Organization, and put high-powered legal defense team with unlimited budget to defend Greitens. But listen to this right here. According to the Post-Dispatch, on the 8/29, 2000, Ed Dow was a leader, of an organization called the Vela Prophet, an all-male racist organization, and more than 100 years old of promoting racism and segregation policy. The organization is known as the Ku Klux Klan. See, this is the reason they don't like this kind of radio show. And you know, I got a big mouth, so I likes to talk about these devils. That's what I do. So that's why I tell people, if it's a little too hot, you know, I'm free. So I can say what I want to say. If you don't want me to say nothing, you don't need me on this radio program because I'm letting loose. And this is why she's having a problem that she having. The other problem is, along with Dowd, other attorneys involved in conspiracy. Oh, Scott Rosenblum, when y'all hear Scott Rosenblum, all that old smiling he do, he ain't nothing but a tricky devil. He's slicking the fish grease. And y'all love running y'all mouth. Hey, we got Scott Rosenblum. He ain't no damn good. This me saying it, but no, this is the Post-Dixie Dispatch saying this.
I'm a living witness.
I'm quoting them. Beautiful.
I should be one of his clients.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you talk about it. I had to get this part out, and I had to get the part out. What I didn't get, the Homer G. Phillips, we didn't get a chance to do the update. We should have, because we had so much other stuff going. But Daryl Piggy, boy, only time I even heard about a piggy is when it was 3 piggies. And one of them went to the marketplace and one of them stayed home. That's what the hell you should have did, stayed home. And one of them cried, wee, all the way. You should have stayed damn at home. A buck dancing, boot licking, butt licking, buck dancing, buck jumping, butt kissing, butt sniffing, half baked, half fried Negro. I have no respect for you. Y'all done assassinated Brother Homer Phillips one time. Now you're on your second time around assassinating this man, trying to come up with a health clinic and talking about 3 beds when it should have been 600 beds of y'all was going to do something. Plus, you should have checked with the black community. You didn't check and respect Wally Amusa, Sister Zenobia, Miss Ollie Stewart, and the group that they was dealing with. When you don't listen to them, you got to listen to us. Y'all jump on in there, my brother. We got about 3 minutes left, and whatever y'all want to cover. I appreciate y'all so much.
I just appreciate all the information and all the knowledge. Thank you for having us, Freeman Bosley, Mayor Bosley's secretary.
So you got to say her whole name. She rolled eyes at me. See how she did that? You can't say secretary. Secretary
Felicia.
Yeah, my personal secretary.
And especially my dear brother, Lorenzo Petty. And my man sitting back there behind us.
Brother Bombay.
Brother Bombay Boski.
Bombay.
Y'all brought the clout to us because y'all are out there in the street absolutely doing things. You're not talking about it. You're being about it.
Yeah.
You can't see what you can't be. And y'all are showing brothers what they can be through those schools with Brother Jum and everything. So we want to thank you.
Yeah.
Come on, jump in. Y'all take the last 2 or 3 minutes. Jump on in there with
Well, I'm going to make it brief, but I'm going to get it right to the core. In 1978, Scott Rosenblum and the prosecuting attorney conspired, and I went to a jury trial on a gun range. Had the gun thing beat. This man here, Scott Rosenblum,
Scott Slick,
allowed the prosecuting attorney to introduce my whole entire record to the jury.
That's deep.
You know, during the time of jury verdict, when you got to argue your case, and they're not even supposed to mention your record
They sure don't.
if you don't get on stand. Now, I don't even take stand. And they go back on what they call a stipulation. And the stipulation, I looked up in front of the jury, this man allowed the prosecuting attorney to read my juvenile record and my whole rest from a violent record to the crime.
He's a member of the
And then the judge already told him, this is a gun case.
According to this here,
This is not about his record. And they wasn't even supposed to mention my record. And when they did that under Scott Roosevelt, gave the man, the prosecuting attorney, permission to read my record to the jury. And when they did that, Judge Gunn was living at that time, and he went along with it. And then they said I threatened him and gave me 2. Gave me 15. Folks gave me 15. They gave me 17 and 8 months. You did because what the prosecuting attorney said and couldn't prove it. And then they locked me up in that penitentiary. And I had already been out. I was a black businessman in St. Louis. You know, they took my life from me. And took my store from me, my business from me, took my life away from me. When I came home, Judge Gunn was dead. All of them put me in penitentiary had died. You know, I lit all of them. I'm sure tell them they some Ku Klux Klan. They crossed me out of my freedom with that jewelry.
This
article
I'm reading, this article said they the Ku Klux Klan.
And I
This
fought
what say the Post is
I fought
special.
them. I fought them all the way to appeal court, all the way to Supreme Court, and them suckers still denied me. How you going? Man, the law say when a man is innocent and did his time for the crime, you can't come back and use that same crime against a man and give him more time the second time around under career offender. That's what they doing to these black men in this city. Yeah, they using the same crime against them that they've been convicted before. It's called double jeopardy. But now they took the chains off our legs and off our brains. Now they got them on our legs. We're in slavery in penitentiary now. With the Constitution analysis, and don't nobody protest it, and don't nobody got nothing to speak out against it. You know what? I'm a free black man. I ain't on parole. I ain't on no bond, and I ain't doing no crime or nothing. So I just wish the young brothers out here wake up and get their education and get a trade. How long it take out here? Because if you don't get it out here, you're going to get it in the penitentiary before they let you go.
Brother Petty, we only got a minute or so left, and I want to get to the secretary, but that number to reach Brother Lorenzo Petty and get that book, Deadly
And my book is Deadly Gangster 1. Area code
314-930-1651.
1651.
Okay, so you can call him so he can...
It's a book for $20.
You get it for $15. Say $1,600, hallelujah.
Just tell me you hear this information on the Freeman Bosley Jr. show, and I'll give it to you for $15.
Sister Secretary, I don't like to cut them off, but the time is just about gone.
You always got to do a hard stop, right? Just almost a hard stop. All right, guys, we want you to go head over to Facebook and like our page on Facebook, the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Go ahead and like it, tag it, share it, and follow it.
You go too fast, Secretary.
Yeah, I know. We almost at a hard
like
stop
it,
over here.
share it.
Share it.
Repeat, y'all.
Tag it.
And follow. Say again.
Like it. Share it.
Tag it.
Follow. Give me 1 second, because I got to go to Tahi Youth Group, too. You have to get over to the Tahi Youth Group, like that page, and also go to Brother Anthony Shaheed page. And what we're going to do, we're going to like it.
Okay, like it.
Tag it.
Tag it.
Share it.
Share it.
Follow it.
Like
it.
Tag
it. Share it. Follow
We're
it.
going to close out in 1 more minute. I think we got 1 more minute. We got 1 minute. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for being patient with Mary Bosley. And Senator Carla May is on special assignment, but we had in their absence Brother Lorenzo Petty, and we had Brother Hassan Shariff that did a beautiful job. We want to thank them for coming in this morning.
We had Dr. Joyce Roberts.
Dr. Joyce Roberts, and also Sister
Alisha
Sonnier from school board. So we had a powerful show tonight. Thank y'all so much for being with us and listeners. Help share it every Saturday from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning. You know what to do. We got 30 seconds left because I want to go over there and
Make
like
sure you go to YouTube.
Yes.
Go to YouTube and subscribe. We are live on YouTube every Wednesday.
Wait, 30-second mark? I want to
Hey.
like it.
Like
share.
it.
You're going to close it out.
Tag it. Share it. Follow it. Like it.
Share it.
Like it.
Tag it. Share it.
Follow it.
Like it.
Share
Tag
it.
it. Share it. Follow it.
it.
It's the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Keep it on lock.
Stop playing.
Stop playing.
Good show. So, brothers and sisters, we're off the air as far as the radio, but we want to close out with you and tell you thank you so much. And I'm trying to cut them short because they're long-winded, but now they can take their time and give it out again. I want you to go call right now.